Hey guys, we just got back from No Time to Die, the latest James Bond film that was delayed quite a bit over the year because of obviously the pandemic. And so it's been, I think, about 5 years since the last one. And so it's kind of tough for me to remember some of the things. I whipped up Wiki to go over the plot and figure out where this one picks up, because this one basically picks up right where the last one left off. And
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated it. It was one Bond film too many for me.
The longest one. I think,
I wish this
wasn't it?
one was never made. I'm actually pretty pissed off at what they've done with the Bond character here and the situations. Now, that's not to say that it's not technically sound. Is it technically sound? Yes. Are the shots beautiful? Yes. Is there good action? Yeah, here and there. Maybe not as much action as I was hoping for. You've seen a lot of it already in the trailer.
Yeah.
This film, to me, was just unnecessary. And I hate how they've concluded Daniel Craig's run as James Bond. I'm going to be honest. I despise it. And certain characters in the film I despise, is what I probably should say. And the situation that they put him in, it continues that story from, what was the last one? But I just wish it didn't. And a lot of it I can't tell you until I get to the spoiler section on why. The creative direction and the conclusion to Daniel Craig's James Bond, I did not like, I did not appreciate it, and I found several plot holes that kind of fucking bother me. And I just don't think that this, as his last outing as James Bond, the character, it wasn't satisfying enough for me. And the villain here, I feel like this guy gets to come out of nowhere, and then he gets to do all this, and it just feels kind of rushed. And I mean, you should put Bond up against. I mean, there are previous villains in here that show up and have cameos and stuff, but I don't know. It just unnecessary. What did you guys think?
For me, I thought it started off pretty cool. I was like, I like the action scenes and everything. That's about the only part that I started liking. I was like, no, I need more action. And then it started slowing down, started going with these subplots that kind of went nowhere.
Yep.
I'm like, what's going on? I don't like this. And then the little surprise ending, I was like, I didn't like the surprise ending. And then another thing I didn't like is Rami, didn't give him enough to do as a villain.
Right.
Like, he was just there. It was like, I'm bad. I'm going to say a couple lines. But he wasn't really doing much.
Right,
He
we're
was just
going
there in the
way old
background.
school.
I was like, come on. Like, give him something to do. He's a good actor. I've seen him back. But
Yeah.
I've watched every single Bond movie except for the most recent ones.
This is the 25th Eon production.
Maybe. I don't think
There's more.
I think I've seen Spectre once. I've seen all the Daniel Craig ones one time. But it used to be like it was always a Bond marathon on some random day in the year. We'd sit down and we'd watch all of them. And you're never paying that much attention. So my expectations for Bond movies are really low because a lot of them, especially like the Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, still love Timothy Dalton, but those movies are not very good. And it's like, so some of the Bond movies are bad. And so everything that you said is absolutely correct, but I was like, yes, it was a Bond movie. Yes, its story
was a Bond movie.
Story makes no fucking sense. The bad guy will show up out of nowhere. He doesn't have enough to do. They drag on in the middle of the movie for no reason.
Only the ending is insulting.
Oh, yeah. And then it starts off strong with a car sequence. But the issue is, I think, we've seen that car sequence so many times in the last 2 years in the commercial, and almost the entire thing is in the commercial, that this movie didn't have a punch. Now, I think I liked it a little bit better than you because, again, my expectations are way lower, I think. Yeah. But
so I counted the action scenes. Let me know if you guys agree if there was more. You got the trailer stuff that we saw, right? You know, the car and the chase. The car getting shot up. Pretty cool. Then we got the club, fight at the club.
I wanted to see more of her.
And then you got, hold on, we'll talk about it in a second. And then you got this stairwell fight, towards the end, the stairwell fight, and which was really good. And then the final fight. I can't really think of anything.
Boat scene.
Oh, boat scene, right. So basically 5 little action things, not enough, especially not if you're going to choose this direction with the James Bond character and this way to conclude it. It was just a little unsatisfying. in that regard. Okay, so let's get to the supporting characters, right? So James Bond obviously has a love interest in this film, carrying over from the last film. I don't feel any chemistry. I don't feel like this is the one for Bond. You know what I mean? The girl that he's just gonna.
Because you didn't like her.
Sean
he was
Connery.
in love with her. All right.
Yeah, I know, but on screen, I just did not feel like the chemistry was there, and then this particular one is the one for James Bond. I mean, the ladies' man, come on. I mean, at least Sean Connery's version was the ladies' man. This one,
Yeah, he was.
obviously, is a little different, and
not as age appropriate, or maybe it was
let down.
But there's scenes where they're standing at each other. It's like, you could be her dad. This is a little
Yeah.
weird, but all right.
I guess
all right,
so.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, he is a sexy man.
Oh yeah, they even make a joke about it because they pick him up. He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "I go diving. I like to get old relics."
Yeah,
He's
I'm
like,
an old.
well, then
old
you're
wreck.
in luck.
Yeah.
I'm an old wreck.
And so essentially we have, obviously Bond has kind of retired from
Again.
the 00
He,
program.
retired like multiple
Right.
times.
And in this one. And in this film he's working with the CIA in order to, move the plot forward and figure out the big world-ending event that Bond has to conquer, which ties very closely into his girlfriend and his girlfriend's history and her past. And none of this fucking movie would have happened if she would have just been honest with him and
That's also
told him
M's
upfront.
fault too.
Yeah,
So.
and M
her.
as well. The new M taken over from the old N. So yeah, really, I think it was a little bit of a dud in the sense. Not a dud in terms of action, in terms of another Bond film. It's a Bond film. It's big budget. It's Daniel Craig. So there is, what do you call it? Those elevate the film, right? And Daniel does a great job as Bond, and I just didn't like the story. I didn't like the chemistry. I didn't like what they were doing. You've seen it in the trailers. We have a new 007 who really just feels like a prop in order to poke Daniel Craig and his 007 thing, because she is the new 007. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way. I mean, they're just doing that to be like, hey, you could have an African-American and a female, and does that shock you? Hey,
British,
look, it's the 00 and British. Well, she's British. They're all British. But, does that shock you? And it's like, it's like, really, would the agency that has relied on 007 so much, there's so much tradition and pageantry within the organization, that they would just give his number to somebody else, or would they retire it? Because he's like, well,
retire it. Because what are you gonna do? So now you're gonna be down to like limited numbers.
999.
No, it has to be
No,
double.
it has to be double.
No. 0069.
152.
I get it.
It's like 00.
Yeah, well-
dot 7. An asterisk 7. It just it just fits.
Okay, well, you found the one loophole, Joe. I will allow it. All right, fine. If they're like, shit, we already have 8 other agents. We gotta
someone.
give you. We
Yeah,
gotta
you
give
gotta
you.
kill
that.
someone.
Fine. Whatever. But I felt she was a prop. Didn't really contribute much to the story. And ultimately, though, it concludes in a satisfying way in that regard, and we can talk about that.
Speaking of props, I thought Anna de Armas was more of a prop. I think she was kicking ass, the chick in the club.
Oh, yeah,
she was
she
kicking
was
ass,
great.
like she was fucking
More of
holding her
that.
own. Yeah, do something like that. They're like, okay, I did my mission. I'll never see you again.
Yeah, you never
and
see
then
her
that's
again.
it. And then
And-
kind of with the same,
Right.
the new 007, she's like, okay, I do some stuff, and then I'll go back in the shadows. So give him something more to do if you're gonna introduce him or something.
all that's when the film was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the issue is you have 2.5 hour long movie and you didn't do anything with these side characters, and that's why it kind of felt like a slog in the middle. It's like the Q. I've always loved Q in these movies, and then I focus on the gadgets and weird things, and of course they're setting up an impossible situation that they had just designed a gadget for, and I don't think they did anything with Q here.
Nah.
And M was
And his gadget was like
kind of
He's like,
lame.
I don't know. It's gonna take some
Not-
time. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
And so, like, Moneypenny's in this, and Moneypenny's just there to be,
Moneypenny.
commit treason over and over, I guess, because I mean everyone in this movie is committing treason.
Yeah.
And so the story is, completely stupid. But
I understand it,
But
but,
it's not
action,
stupid
though.
fun for me. I like
yeah.
the Bond films because they're stupid fun. This one was stupid. Oh, come on.
This was more
Pissed me
serious.
off and more serious. And just some people might find a satisfying conclusion to the Daniel Craig and doing honor to him. I disagree completely.
A bit in a different way, but agreed.
Okay, let's go to final verdicts. Make it short. Let me say that look, we love James Bond here, and so I'm gonna tell you see the film so that you have a complete, thing. But if you were like, Joe, do I need to go see it right now? I'm like, nah, man, just catch it whenever.
Yeah.
I can't make a recommendation to go to the theater or just wait till it's on. I don't know, whatever it's gonna be on.
I'm gonna give this a 5. This is an average film. The actors did the best they can with whatever writing they can, especially with Rami. He's like, all right, well, I'm a Bond villain.
Damn, Joe, your ratings have been rough as hell lately.
Because it started off
you're
pretty
a real
cool,
critic
and then
now.
I was like, all right, I'm like fucking bored. I'm gonna take a little nap, see what happens. Yeah, but I did like the action scenes. The subplots kind of led nowhere, especially with Logan Ash. I don't know if you remember that guy, that smiling guy.
Isn't he a wrestler, or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't know, but he was I think he did a great job with his smarminess.
Yeah, being in the
he was
movie
just
for
there
5
like
minutes.
5 minutes.
It
and
reminds
it's like,
me of,
okay, well, that went
What's
nowhere.
the guy's name? I don't know.
Already got some. Anyways, I'll just talk about that in spoilers. But yeah, 5 for me. Cool action scenes. These casted as well as they could, but overall, just an average film.
So you were like me. You were disappointed in the story.
Yeah, I just wanted some more action.
Yeah, I wasn't super disappointed in the story. I think it was standard, average James Bond, really dumb. Like these are 99-cent spy novel stories that they bloated into 2.5 hours, and that's where my problem with this movie is. It's too damn long for what we got. Right? If it's this long, and then they really delve into there and they write a really cool story that we're kind of weaving in and out of, and all the great supporting characters, then I'm on board. But I don't think they did that, and so there was times where I'm like, you need to wrap this up. I think that they
Wrap it up, B.
yeah, and they needed to kind of like increase the amount of action scenes in there, do some other things with. I mean, there's a lot of good things in here, but the execution just felt really off.
Yeah.
I do think it's above average. I mean, we've seen some shit lately, so I'm probably gonna go with a 6 out of 10. I think it's an above average watch. I wouldn't be telling people to rush out and go watch it, but it's better than some of the other stuff we've seen recently.
I'm pissed at it, and because the reason why it's so long is because they feel they need to make an epic because of what happens at the end. I can't tell you what happens at the end. It's a spoiler. We'll talk about it in the spoiler, but that pisses me off so much. His girlfriend pisses me off. That pisses me off, and the conclusion of the Bond, it's like it doesn't end satisfyingly for the Bond character, and that pisses me off. So I want to do a 4 out of 10, but I know that it's like my hatred of that is clouding that, and I do think it is an average film. And, if you're looking for Bond action, it's here. If you're looking for some set piece fights that are done and filmed competently, there's no shaky cam. You can see everything. You can enjoy it. It's punchy. The soundtrack is good. They do the classic James Bond, little credits and his, turnaround thing. Although they rush that real quick in the video. It's like, hey, you remember this? All right, now let's get to the film. It's like they're going through the motions. But I have to admit it is a good film, but my hatred of the story brings it down. So it's a 5 out of 10 for me, an average Bond film. There are better Daniel Craig ones, and I wish that they didn't make this one or didn't choose to end it like this.
Yeah, cut some stuff out.
Yeah.
Tighten it up or flesh it out.
That was it. That's it for Daniel Craig. Now, who is going to be the next Bond?
Me.
Who do you got? No, Joe, I
The
don't
best
think so.
one has been,
Me.
obviously,
We need a
Johnny
Hispanic.
English. I was going to actually say that.
Hispanic James Bond. That'll surprise everybody.
Because my top one is Johnny English, but I think what makes him so charismatic is his
Johnny English is Johnny English, Joe.
He's the best. He's the best. I'm saying what makes him so charismatic is like he's got that accent. But what if we do like someone like me, do like a Speedy Gonzalez, like a accent?
Oh yeah.
You think he'll
Oh yeah.
still have that
hey, Ming,
charisma going?
What are you doing, Ming? No,
No?
I don't think so.
Damn
I'm
it.
sorry, Joe. I think it's gonna go. You know, there were talks of Henry Cavill. You like Henry, right? Maybe
an
a new
understatement.
guy, Idris Elba. Who is it gonna be? I don't know. And at this point, it's gonna take a lot for me to
Yeah.
care. You know, are they gonna reboot it, start it all over? It's
With
like,
that new chick? I
give
am
me-
007.
No, fuck her.
What's
She
Pierce Brosnan
better
doing
not
right now?
be.
Let's bring that guy back.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love Pierce
right.
Brosnan.
He's
He was a
chilling
good one.
couch. Was like, I don't want to.
He's number 3. I still like Sean Connery, and then I'll say Sean Connery, then
classic.
Daniel Craig, and then Pierce.
How dare you?
Brosnan.
GoldenEye. GoldenEye is not only the greatest modern James
Game.
Bond movie, but it's the greatest game that ever got tied to.
Oh yeah, that's why he's number 3. All right, guys. So stick with us in the spoiler section if you want to know what pissed me off so bad, and we can discuss it. All right, thank you, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Welcome to the spoiler second. Welcome to the spoiler section. So yeah, I guess they felt that this was the only way they could do it. They kill Bond. They kill Bond. He dies.
his
He's
last
dead.
film.
It's his last film as Daniel Craig. I guess they didn't want any questions for like, well, why aren't you using Daniel Craig? He's out there somewhere in the
he did.
universe. No, he's dead. And he
Poisoned and dead.
It fucking sucked because, like I said, Bond's girlfriend basically kills him. You know, Bond is fucking smart as hell, and, you know, he'd be more alert, he'd be more prepared if she had just fucking shared her secrets with him, you know. And the whole film, she's like, your girlfriend has secrets, and she knows how to hide. So she knows how to hide, and she has secrets. Yeah, that's fucking, yeah, I
That
guess
first
that's a
ceremony
perfect girl for
thing,
Bond.
I was just
Hate her.
thinking, I was like, this is a bad fire hazard.
Hate her.
There's a bad fire hazard going on here. Everyone's just burning stuff and throwing it out the window.
Yeah,
That's a bad
so they're
idea, guys.
they're in a very romantic getaway, and you know they're burning secrets and shit. And he visits the grave of his former, you know, partner and love.
Tesby or something like
Yeah,
that.
and it just the grave explodes, and then it makes it look like she set him up, and you know, but it's like, come on. Bond, seriously, like you're just gonna roll with that and never speak to her again. He puts her on a train. You'll never see me again. He's like, fuck you, bitch.
And it wasn't her. Shocking. She had
Oh
nothing to do with
my
it. She
God.
had nothing to
That's
do
like
with
Bond
it.
was
They
smooth.
make
That would've
Bond
done
stupid
that.
as fuck.
I would've done
They
that.
make him an asshole. They make her girlfriend a fucking bitch. Because turns out during those 5 years, when they were on that trip or whatever, they had a daughter.
She said
Bond
it wasn't
has a
his. I was like,
daughter.
can I get that in writing?
So when he comes to visit her 5 years later, after she weasels her way back into the plot as a so convenient thing where she's the only psychiatrist that, you know, the Christopher Waltz's character will talk to, you know, they meet again, and she's like, that kid's not yours. He meets
I
her
was
at the house.
so this is a point in the movie where I'm like, all right, you gotta rehook me because it's been dragging up until this point. And
Ooh,
they
it
introduced
dragged hard.
they introduced the daughter, and I was like, holy shit, this is so potentially because the
Yeah.
weapon in this movie is DNA
Yeah.
assassination, and if they can do something where Bond has to be
With
worried
Bond
about
with the daughter.
and they could have done something really cool.
That's what I'm
nope,
saying.
fucking
Nope.
went nowhere.
Not, you know, it's not the daughter's fault. She's got no material to work with. She's just there. It's a
Well,
prop.
she's-
It's
yeah,
like
she's-
fucking. She's like
she's a tiny little toddler. She's 4 or 5 years old,
Right,
like,
but you
toddler's
gotta
a
put her
terrible
in
actor.
scenes with Bond and more than the look, I'm gonna make you breakfast, and she's like, it's not bad, and that's it. That's the bonding moment between Bond and her daughter, and it's like, okay, whatever, and it just sucks because, and you're telling me that she knows she didn't betray Bond. She is the mother to his child, and Bond is the father, and you're not going to fucking tell him at all.
Everyone
You're
thought
not
he
going
was
to
dead.
attempt to call. No,
He disappeared.
bullshit.
She ghosted
She's
him.
working with. She's working with MI6. She's working with all these agencies because she's a. No, she's a bitch for not fucking telling him that she's had his daughter for 5 fucking years. He could have spent all that time with her. Instead, Bond gets 2 minutes. He has a family for 2 fucking minutes, and they decide to kill Bond. It's fucking bullshit.
You can't touch him.
Never informs him of his child's birth, and nor lets Bond be a part of her life. Because why? Because Bond put her on a thing, and he says, you'll never see me again, and whatever. So yeah, it might be partly Bond's fault, but she could have done.
Was the poison necessary though at the end?
So yeah, so let's talk about.
Was that necessary?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's necessary?
Was
They
it
needed
necessary?
the high stakes.
I get what,
No. Whenever they poisoned him,
Yeah.
Okay.
they could have just like
No.
shot him up. He's like, "Oh, I'm dying. I'm gonna call it," and then like it's
Right. So
raining
this
down,
is
but he's
the
like,
other part
"Oh,
of
I
the
can't
problem I'm
touch
having with. Go ahead, Alex.
I mean, I clearly, it's very clear that they're trying to set up this weird emotional problem for Bond to have, right? And so it's
where
like,
our hearts are
is
wrenched.
his life worth living? Could he go another 5 years and never be able to be around them? I
Yeah,
get what they're trying to
I
do
can.
there.
Yeah, that's what I fucking said, Joe. It's like, are you serious? You could put plate glass in between them. You could
You rather
at least
die
see your
than
daughter
not see
grow
them?
up. The Bond is a fucking moron in this film.
No, he just wrote the will. He's like, "Look, she said it wasn't my daughter, so I don't know. She's not gonna get my
I'm
insurance.
gonna get your
right?
money.
Yeah.
Bond's money.
So that's what they were trying to set up, and
Yeah,
they did
I
not
know.
look. It's a
It's-
Bond movie. They didn't do that good of a job trying to have this big emotional hook.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel shit when the Bond died. I was not emotional. I'm like, I should be feeling something here, and I don't feel shit.
They
They do the
They
music
also
swell.
have this horrible thing. So he doesn't tell anyone he got poisoned, but 9 different people guess, and just say you got poisoned and it's her poison.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
just
like,
like, how
what?
are you all
How the fuck
guessing
do you
this?
know
Because if
this?
you're talking to each other, because we're all the same
Nanobots?
concept.
Is that just a normal thing around here?
Yeah, it's just like, so everyone just happens to guess, and it just like totally sucked me out. It's like, this is so. All he had
So
to be,
stupid.
all he had to do is like, hey, I got the nanobot poison. They're like, oh no,
No, that is not a nanobot poison, Alex. It wasn't what it was created for. They weaponized it. What the
Nanobot's
fuck?
not
What
just
the
for
fuck was
Christmas.
this for? It's fucking bullshit. That was always a weapon. What were you gonna
not
do?
a WMD. It
What?
was for I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't know. So then I don't know. It just sucks that this villain is the one villain that gets to kill Bond.
Well, Bond killed himself.
So
Yeah, he
so this random man, he fucking shoots Bond like 3-4 times.
Bond gets shots all the time.
Yeah.
I
That's
know.
fine.
That's what I'm saying. That Bond could have lived. So he could have gotten off the island.
Yes.
Could have get picked up, patched up his bullet wounds, and lived the rest of his life in isolation from obviously his love and his daughter. But at least they have a father, and he's around, and she can learn from him, and they can love each other behind plate glass. But no.
Hello, Zoom meetings.
I know, but then he's like, well, no, Joe, it's because you got to open the doors again because the blast shield door
I'd rather
is
have that. Him
closed."
like holding the door open. It's like he
Yes,
has to hold
something
it.
more dramatic.
He has
I'm
to
okay
hold
with
it and
that.
let it
Right.
rain in or something.
But no,
Yeah,
he just goes
that
to the
would've been way
top so that he
cooler.
can watch the fireworks.
And you get him vaporized. You see him get hit with a
Yeah,
missile
yeah.
too.
What
So
the
like, there's no.
fuck? He's fucking dead.
He did.
fucking dead. And I'm like, this is how Bond's, because I love the Bond films. You see all these adventures that he goes on. You always wonder, at
Exotic
the end he gets the
cars,
girl
all
and
the
he gets
cool
to have
gadgets.
cool gadgets and shit. I'm like, man, this guy is gonna be a great grandpa. Or he's, this guy is gonna have an amazing life. And then what's after the missions? Well, ain't nothing after the missions.
Nope.
And to see this universe's Bond end this way pissed me off because it was unearned. It was a dumb concept, and it was unsatisfying. You throw in
Underutilized
another
the
villain.
characters.
The villain, Christopher Waltz, that basically orchestrated every fucking bad thing that happened in his life, is a side character in this. And this random guy who hates that character is the one that gets to kill off Bond, Though Christopher Waltz's character
Vengeance.
gets one last vengeance he's like, I'm the one that planted the bomb at your, the grave, making you think that your girl fucked you over, so I stole 5 years of your life with your daughter. and shit.
Haha, bitch.
Ha!
I was like, while I was
like,
in
I don't-
Jamaica,
Yeah,
I was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay child support and
Oh,
nothing.
He's probably
Well,
just banging
shit.
chicks in Jamaica.
Banging
Yeah.
chips in Jamaica.
Oh, he was.
all
He
day
took that
long.
girl home.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But what did you think of the wildly cartoonish racist scene for no reason, where
remember.
the Russian scientist is talking to the new 007, and he's talking shit,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
talking about like, your people, I could exterminate your entire race. I don't even need a laboratory. You guys are so
Yeah.
weak.
What the
And I
fuck
was like,
what
it's like,
he
where
do
did
that
this
for?
come
It's
from?
like out of
Because he's
nowhere.
evil.
Because you got to give her the justification for the dumbass audience so that she could just outright fucking kill
She
him.
murdered like 50 dudes, like
I know.
random henchmen, and this
know.
is a guy who's engineered she throws him in a vat of acid, which was like kind of cool, but it's like, was that scene really necessary?
he's
Like, who's the scene
genocidal.
for?
She like
He's-
broke his arms and then pushed him.
He's a mass murderer, genocidal, but he also has to be a racist just
Yeah.
to make good on
And before he fell down, he kicked the dog.
Yeah.
and spit on a baby.
Oh my God! Speaking of, all right, the first scene we get is that motorcycle guy. That a guy takes off his glasses.
Yeah, with his
Cyclops.
eye, his lazy
Yeah.
eye.
I thought it was like CGI or something, like
Yeah.
fucking weird.
CGI?
Kind of
Yes,
was. I think it
because I was like, "That's his name, CGI."
oh, you ruined the joke. CGI.
Yes, I
Got
was like,
it. That should be in the credits.
It
Yeah,
should be
he
because
had
like,
it-
you took it off. I thought,
What the fuck is with this bowl cut fade bullshit
I don't
that
know.
that idiot had
I
on?
don't know.
But Christopher Waltz's character had a setup. Bond goes to his fucking party, and he's the little eyeball because he's in prison, but he still gets to communicate through the eyeball, and all the Spectres. So the payoff to the whole fucking Spectre thing, it's like, God damn it, we can't get Spectre. Oh, Spectre's everywhere. Spectre's evil. And all of Spectre dies in like
Except for
30
two?
seconds due to
One?
this random
I
guy.
thought because I saw it pulled up Rami and
One,
then
the
Christopher Walken.
Waltz's character.
Yeah,
Or
he's the
Christopher
only one that
Walken.
lives. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, and Bond was supposed to die right there, and he gets saved by the genocidal racist scientist who, was truly working for. Well, he had lots of other motives.
He was working with the CIA
Yeah.
because Felix and the guy that had no fucking idea what was going on, Logan
yeah.
Ash. So
Logan
that guy, they were working with him. They're like, all right, they.
Felix dies, not
Felix
like I gave a
dies
shit
because,
about his character.
Yeah,
but-
Logan shoots him, traps Bond underneath the boat, and blows everything up. He's like, all right, I'm escaping, deuces, and that's the last we see of Logan Ash.
He died in the forest.
No, Joe. He killed him in the forest.
He
let
gets
the
smushed by a car.
Smush him.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
we found another action scene. So the forest fight.
See,
so
that's
there's
how
6
boring it
action
was. Like,
scenes.
oh, wait.
I did like the forest fight though. It was pretty
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Forest fight. Okay, I don't know why I'm writing it down. We're
Yeah,
doing the
it's like,
fucking
that
thing.
one.
It
See,
says
you forget.
for-
You'll forget about this
I
movie
forget about
soon.
shit all the
Yeah.
time. I write it down in my phone.
We watched.
Anyway, because we did a doubleheader today. We watched this one and
Yeah.
Lamb. So that's the. Unless y'all have anything else. Oh, and H is a fucking dick. Or M is a fucking dick. H. Because
Yeah.
and then this island is in the middle of Japan and Russia, and
So
they
what's
have a
going on over
dispute
there?
over the island. And they constantly fly jets, and they're mad when somebody else gets near the island. But they themselves don't go check out what's
They-
on the island. Fucking missile silos.
They're trying to drum up tension. Like they're telling you what they're doing. They're like, get it? There's tension. It's like, but you're not doing
I
a
don't
good
want
job.
it. Yeah, I
You
don't want
get
it.
it?
Japanese
There's
and
tension. It's like,
Russians don't
but there's not. There's
want
not
us
tension.
around
You're
here.
doing it wrong. It's like, no, there's tension.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I just didn't like No Time to Die, and I was ready for another Bond adventure and a
Yeah, but
nice
it's just a
send off to
stupid,
the Daniel
yeah,
Craig character.
stupid,
And
fun
honestly,
action.
the last film did a better job at the send off. And I want to just say the last film is where it ended, and he gets to go off with his girl, and everything's fine.
Well, his
All
girl's
right.
going to pick up the mantle, so it's going to be her.
Oh yeah. So his daughter will eventually become 007.
Well, 6. Well, I
Ish.
guess she would retire by the time she gets of age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much. No Time to Die. Go ahead and skip this one unless you're a hardcore Bond fan, and or let me know I'm completely off base and you fucking loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was a
usual.
perfect send off. But that's it for us.
Yeah.
We will see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Bye,
Bye guys.
guys.